Hi everybody, it's Cindy, That Crafting Lady. Welcome if this is your first time here, and welcome back if you're returning. Today's video is these three lovely little signs that I made using Chalk Couture stencils and chalk and a few other little things here and there. So why don't you join me and see how I created these three beautiful signs. So for today's video, I'm going to be using the Couture Boutique board and base, and it's a 5x7, along with this A-size transfer, silver and white winters. So the first thing I need to do is peel off the backer and set that aside. You will need it, so don't get rid of it. And I'm going to lay it down on my fuzzing cloth. And I'm going to see how much tack it still has. I've already used this once, so I only had to put it on the fuzzing cloth once. The first time you use a stencil, you should put it on several times. But this is my first few times, guys, so bear with me as I get through these videos and projects. I absolutely love Chalk Couture. If you haven't heard about it, there'll be a link to my website down in the description in my link tree. So check that out. So I opened the white chalk and I'm going to put a little bit on my squeegee and then put it on the stencil and then basically just squeegee on the chalk till I cover all the design that I want covered. You don't have to cover all the design if you don't want it. You cover the bits and pieces that you do. And just put on what you need, and then anything that's excess, we're going to squeegee off. So get right to the edge, but you don't want to go over it. It looks really good, guys. I think it looks nice, so we'll just squeegee off any of the excess. There it goes. Oh, see, I went over. We'll fix it. Don't worry. It'll come off. That's the nice thing about this. It's forgiving. What do you do? What do they say? You chalk, love, and repeat. So I think it's great. If you want to get into Chalk Couture, you check out my website and it'll tell you how to become a designer. If you don't want to be a designer on your own, you can sign up for Club Couture, which is $19.99 a month, and you get one 8x10 transfer and the pastes to use with it and all the instructions on how to do it. And it's that simple, guys. All you do is chalk it. I'll wipe that off once it dries and remove the transfer, and your design is there for you to love. I think it came out wonderful. All right, on to project number 2. Now this sign I got at Dollar General. I think I paid like $2 for it. And we're going to use this mistletoe stencil on it. And this one I've never used before, so we're going to take it out. And they're really well packaged. This company is very good. I really am impressed with their packaging. And then you see the lines there. That's where you can cut them apart. So you can use them as a whole stencil. And this is a B size. It's 8.5 by 11. Or you can use them in bits and pieces, which is what I'm going to do today. So the first bit and piece I'm going to use is the top part right there. And we'll set the rest aside for a little while. So again, you can see I'm making sure it's going to fit where I want it. Just kind of eyeballing it there. And now I will go ahead and peel the stencil off of the backing paper, and my fingernails are so short it's a little bit difficult for me, but I'll get it. Just takes a second. I think we got it here. There we go. We got it. All right, so just peel it off gently all the way, and then we can set the backing apart, and we will put it back on the backing once we've washed our stencil and dried it. So now I'm going to fuzz it. Now this is the first time I've used this stencil, so it's very tacky, and you want to fuzz it a couple of times. So I think I do this 2 or 3 times. There we go. And I just put it on a different direction this time. But this fuzzing cloth is really nice too. I like it. There we go. One more time for good luck. Third time's the charm, right? Okay. There we go. Now I'm going to eyeball where I want it. Make sure it's kind of centered right in the middle. Just like that. And then I'm going to burnish it down really well. And just make sure that way it's not going to bleed or anything like that. It'll look good. No bubbles, anything like that. There you go. Awesome. Now I'm going to do this in this meadow, I think. Oh, yep. That was black. I wasn't going to do it in black. I said, no, I'm going to do it in green. And I'm going to do it in meadow. So the first thing you do when you have a package like this is kind of knead the chalk together, kind of mix it back up. Make sure it's all mixed together well, just like you would stir a paint can if when you're painting something. And then I'll snip the top off and put some onto my sign. Oh, actually, I think I'm going to put some into the tray first. Yeah, that's what I did. I'm sorry. You can put it right on the sign if you wanted to, if you knew how much you were going to use. So I just put a little bit out there. And it's a little bit of a learning curve trying to see exactly how much chalk that you need to take out. But with the packs, I only put out as much as I think I'm going to need, and then I can put out a little more if I want it, because I can save those packs. They're supposed to be single use, but you don't use all of it. You can go ahead and seal it down really well and then maybe put it in something like a zipper top bag, so that way you can use the rest of it before it dries out. But I had more than enough that I put on right there, and I'm going to squeegee off any of the excess because that'll help you get a better print. So there we go. Squeegee it off. Get it nice and clean. Only want on just the amount that you want in the stencil. You don't want all that excess. There we go. A little bit more. There we are. I think that looks pretty good. What do you guys think? So far, so good. Wipe it off. Good. All right, now we're going to go ahead and remove this stencil. I love this part. It's like Christmas. Oh, I'm doing Christmas things. Isn't that cool? So you just gently take it up. I might have wanted to fuzz this once more because it's really holding on there. So, and just gently pull it across. You don't want to stretch the stencil at all because you want to be able to use it again. So very gently just peel it off. Oh, look at that. I think it looks really good. Look at that mistletoe cut fresh, 25 cents. I love it. All right, so then I will go ahead. Sorry, I hit the camera again. I got to get used to where that camera is. It's a new setup for me. I've only used it a couple times, and I like it, but I got to remember. All right, so there we go. Now I think I'm going to take that other little piece, the piece that was just the mistletoe, and put it up there. So I cut it out, and there it is. Now I'm going to take the stencil off and make sure that it's going to fit where I think it will. Because if not, we can do something different in that little area. But I think it'll fit there. So there we go. Fuzz it a couple times. And I think this project is a little bit for a real beginner, but, I think in the end it came out really good, but it was definitely had a big learning curve to it, especially since I'm doing a couple different colors. So now you can see I got to reposition it because I didn't want to go over the mistletoe itself. I just want to go right to the upper left side of it. And I'll burnish it down just like that. Make sure there's no bleed through. And then I'm going to do the leaves and the stem in the meadow again. But I'm not going to do the bow that's on there because I've got the bow, as you can see, up in the right-hand corner of the screen. We are going to attach a real bow there and not a chalk bow. And I think that's going to give it a little extra. So as I said, this is one of those things where it is a learning curve. I think if I would have had a different tool, like if I use this tool, it's going to make my life a lot better. So I'm just kind of scraping off the paste off there and using it, because you want to use as much as you can. You're paying for it. You want to use what you have, right? You want to get the most for your money. All right, so as you can see, I'm just going to gently go through each area that should be green and scrape or squeegee the paste onto the stencil, and leaving the berries because I'm going to do those in red. Now, you don't want to sit here and watch me do all of this, so I think we're going to speed this up here in just a minute so that we can get it done a little bit quicker and you don't have to painstakingly watch me try to figure this out. But it's really not that hard. You just have to be a little patient with it, and we'll see what the result is. All right, so there's the last of the berries. I'm all done, and I'm going to take the transfer up, peel it away, and see what we have. Fingers crossed, guys. As I said, it was a little ambitious for one of my first few projects, but all in all, I don't think it came out too bad. I really like the look. And I think once I add that bow, it's really going to make it pop. All right, so I washed off my stencils, and now I come back and let's finish this up. I have a couple little boo-boos I want to touch up, so I'm just kind of taking a little damp brush, and I'm going to just kind of touch up here and there and where I think it looks good. Now I'm going to get my glue gun, my Surebonder. Oh, no, let me get the water. There was a little excess water. I forgot I had to take that and get it up there. But it worked out nice. Now we're going to get that bow, and we're going to put the bow on. So we're going to use my Surebonder because you got to stick with the best. I only love my Surebonder. And put that bow right into that hot glue, covering up where I didn't put any chalk. And I think it looks pretty good. We just got to get rid of this glue string. Someone told me about using a baby bottle brush to get rid of glue strings, so I guess I'm going to have to get one next time I'm at the Dollar Tree. But there you go, guys. There is my little metal sign, and I'm going to hang it above my door so maybe I can get free kisses every time somebody comes to see me. And so for the last project, as you can see, I've already used this, but I used it in my live unboxing of my Chalk Couture kit. So all I did was, this is a Dollar Tree chalkboard, and I drilled a couple holes at the top so that I could put a hanger on it. And all I'm doing here is I already centered the stencil where I wanted it and burnished it down, and I'm just putting on some white. I'm only going to do one color here, guys. Nice and easy. And I think it looks really elegant like this too. So now I'm all done filling it in. I'm just going to scrape off all the excess. The more you scrape off, you can wipe it right back into that jar. And the better of a result you're actually going to get when you take your stencil off. So I'm all done doing that. And now we will remove the stencil and do the reveal. This is my favorite part. I love it. Look at that. It just looks so good. Nice and classy. It comes with stars, as you can see up there in the corner, but I didn't want to add them. I'm just kind of thinking I like the way it looks more natural and, not as like those trees are indoors and they've had a star put above them, but they're outdoors in nature and waiting for Christmas. And I'm just doing little touch-ups here and there with my little damp brush, and I think that looks pretty darn good. Okay, guys, sorry I forgot. I didn't record me putting in the jute twine, but you can see how I did. I just strung it through the holes and made it double. So that way you can turn it over and you can put something on the other side if you'd like. Not bad. So here are my 3 final projects. I think they came out great. Tell me which one is your favorite in the description box below. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, I would appreciate you doing so. It helps my channel grow. Click the bell icon and you can be notified when I upload more videos. And if you want to learn more about Chalk Couture, please check out my link tree that's in the description box. Thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to live fully, love deeply, and learn something new every day. Bye, guys.